Importance of Carlill v. Carbolic Smoke Ball Co., 1893. The case of Carlill v. Carbolic Smoke Ball Co., 1893-3, is a cornerstone in contract law, particularly in understanding the formation of contracts and the concept of unilateral contracts. It established key principles that differentiate between offers and invitations to treat, and illustrated how a unilateral offer can be accepted by performing the act stipulated in the offer. The case is frequently cited in contract law to demonstrate the legal requirements for a valid offer, acceptance, and consideration. Case details. Background and introduction. The Carbolic Smoke Ball Company manufactured a product called the Smoke Ball, which was claimed to prevent influenza and other illnesses. To promote their product, the company ran an advertisement in a newspaper stating that they would pay £100 to anyone who used the smoke ball as directed and subsequently contracted influenza. The advertisement further noted that £1,000 had been deposited with a bank to show their sincerity in the matter. Mrs. Louisa Carlill, upon seeing the advertisement, purchased a smoke ball and used it as instructed. Despite this, she contracted influenza. Filing the case. Carlill sought to claim the £100 as promised in the advertisement, but the Carbolic Smoke Ball Company refused to pay, arguing that the advertisement did not constitute a binding contract. They contended that the advertisement was a mere sales puff and not intended to create legal relations. Additionally, they argued that there was no notification of acceptance from Mrs. Carlill, which is typically required to form a binding contract. Legal issues and court proceedings. The legal dispute centered around whether the advertisement was a legitimate offer capable of acceptance, forming a binding unilateral contract. The company argued that the promise was too vague and that a contract could not be formed without direct communication of acceptance. Mrs. Carlill, on the other hand, argued that the advertisement constituted a valid offer that she accepted by performing the conditions specified, using the smoke ball as directed. Court's ruling. The Court of Appeal ruled in favor of Mrs. Carlill. The court held that the advertisement was indeed a unilateral offer to the world at large, which could be accepted by anyone who performed the conditions stated in the offer. The judges emphasized that the company's deposit of £1,000 demonstrated an intention to be bound by the promise. Therefore, the performance of the stipulated act, using the smoke ball and then contracting influenza, constituted acceptance of the offer. Importantly, the court noted that notification of acceptance is not necessary for a unilateral contract. The act itself suffices as acceptance. Key judicial opinions. Lord Justice Lindley highlighted that the advertisement was not a mere puff, but a serious offer, evidenced by the deposit of £1,000. He stated that in unilateral contracts, the need for communication of acceptance is dispensed with when the offeror indicates that performance of the condition will be sufficient. Lord Justice Bowen reinforced this view by noting that the company's advertisement implied that the deposit was to provide security for the promise, indicating a serious intention to be bound. Conclusion and impact. The ruling in Carlill v. Carbolic Smoke Ball Co., 1893, has had a lasting impact on contract law. It clarified that advertisements can constitute offers if they are clear, definite, and indicate an intention to be bound. The case also established that unilateral contracts do not require communication of acceptance. Performance of the conditions stipulated is sufficient. This case continues to be a foundational precedent in the law of contracts, illustrating key principles of offer, acceptance, and consideration that are essential for legal studies and practical application in contractual disputes.